What up, guys? Welcome to the mayhem of Cobra's Customs. Still looking at our beautiful RX-8. Even though this thing's been out of commission, I want to say 8 months at least now. Finally get my button gear. I got some Harbor Freight lights. Got those guys installed so I can actually have some light in my shop now. It's still an absolute disaster. You can see parts just everywhere. I mean, and that's not even, I got parts sitting back there, and let's not even bring up, the other engine block parts sitting in here. That's the block that blew up. We'll just take a quick look at that guy. You can see connecting rod came loose. We had a piston that blew up. It absolutely destroyed this aluminum 3-valve block. I mean, check out the size of the hole in the sidewall of that thing, right? Just overheated and destroyed itself. This is actually the crankshaft out of this block. This block, I believe, is still good. We're going to go through. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how to check your block to make sure it's still square. So as you can see here, I got my handy-dandy 48-inch Cobalt level. You just want to make sure you have something that has a nice flat edge on it, So I really like this level. Cobalt makes a pretty good product. So I got that guy on here, and you look, we're not too far off on level. Maybe a little off. But we're not worried about that. What we're going to be checking is our clearance between piston and cylinder walls and the block. So we got what we call it here a feeler gauge. A lot of you guys probably seen this. I've got it down to the smallest measurement I can, 5 thousandths, so 0.005, so really thin. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to start with a simple one, straight across all the heads, and you're just going to take this guy and you're just trying to see if it'll slide underneath there. You're not like trying to force it in there. If there's a gap, it'll go in there. And so right now, we're looking pretty good, right? We went all the way across. But I like to check it at more than just that one spot. I put it at an angle here, and then I go through and check them again. Because I want to make sure that these the block is truly good. I don't want more overheating issues due to a head gasket. So we're going to turn it the other direction, do the same thing, kind of just go to all those spots that the level's sitting on. And it doesn't have to be a level. If you have a piece of metal, at least 24 inches, I would say, to get all the way across your cylinder block, you can use that as long as you can trust a straight edge. I'm going to go ahead and move it all the way to this side here. And again, just going along, just seeing if this guy will sit in there anywhere. All right, so that looks pretty good. So we do our one last spot here on the far side of the block. Oops, feeler gauge is getting a little crazy there. All right. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. And so we're going to do this on both sides, and as you can tell, there's still a little bit of the head gasket remnant still sitting on there. So the fact that that's still sitting there and I'm still getting good feelers throughout is pretty awesome. We're going to do this again when I get it all polished up and really smoothed out. We're also going to do the same thing, obviously to this side too. We want to make sure that side's still square, because one side could be perfectly fine, the other side could be completely out of whack. So we want to check that. You don't have to check your oil pan gasket as much. I am going to check it just to make sure, because, metal as it heats up can warp. So I'm going to go ahead and check it as well, make sure that's still good. And then you're going to do the same thing to the heads, Let's turn this light on. Do the same thing to the heads. You're going to, flip these guys over, get your level on it, and put your feeler gauge underneath it. And I can go through and show you guys that here in a little bit. I did have one gentleman that had a question about how to do the variable timing. So that way when you're using the 2-valve kit on these 3-valve motors, how you get your camshaft timing down. So this is what that variable timing gear looks like, completely stock. You have your 5 points on here, right? And so if you're looking at it symmetrically, sorry for the horrible view there, kind of picking up the other gear, but if you're looking at it symmetrically, these 4 kind of stand up. They're all symmetric, from one to the other. So I cut off those 4 and left just this one, and that's what this guy looks like. So as you can see, the 4 are missing, and I just have 1. And so this is what is this? This is the driver's side. So the driver's side head is where I put my timing for my cam sensor. And so it's only picking up this one, because if it has all 5 of them, you're going to get all kinds of mixed signals, and it's going to fire wrong, and it's not going to run right. These are the heads I'm essentially going to end up putting on this motor, but I do need to change out the valves, and I'll give you a quick show why. All right, so now that I got this guy lifted up, you can see on the exhaust, every single one of these has a little, like what looks like a heat ring. And basically what that's from is because I over-revved the motor and caused those valves to slam home really hard, and it actually tweaked them just a bit. So I'm gonna have to resurface and do a valve job on this just to make sure. Oh, it looks like something's sitting in there. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, I got a piece of metal in that one. That's probably from one of the pistons. So yeah, I have a lot of work to get this thing set up. Let me set this down. But basically when I come down to it, I mean, it's going to be built top to bottom correctly. All my surfaces are going to be square, all new gaskets. Like, tired of rebuilding motors, right? I've gotten lucky with a couple, getting a couple $50 motors, being able to run those for a season or, half a season and then they blow up. Or, this last one, it's really unfortunate that it heated up and blew out like that, because I did spend a few $100s on that one and it was running great, but it just got too hot. So we're also going to be looking at new venting for the back here. Part of me is like, okay, let me delete this, because when I'm sitting at idle, even though I have my fans on, you can feel air being pulled in, but I feel like if I have it open, it might also, allow more airflow to go through. Another part of me is like, just make it a little bit thinner, so it doesn't stand up as high. We'll see. We're going to get to that. We are going to be going with a different paint scheme this year, so that'll be fun. Still sticking with the TR3560 transmission. That thing's working great for me. You saw the Stage 2 clutch that I had sitting back there, so that's freaking awesome. Yeah, we're going to also probably redo the rack. I'm going to see if I can get longer pitman arms here, because these are about at their limit. You can see how much thread I have sticking out there. Like, it's barely holding on into this guy. So I want to see if I can get some little bit longer ones of that, because of how I had to mount this steering rack in order for the motor to fit. I couldn't keep it in its stock locations. I had to build brackets and pull this thing out a little bit to get this on you. This is just my rain cover because the roof leaks. But we got some corrosion going on there. I need to get some clean. I need to get like a portable sandblaster or something, get this stuff cleaned up. We're going to be doing rewiring in here. I want to paint the engine bay, because this looks like crap sitting up in there. You can see my old welds. They look horrendous. So we need to really clean this thing up, make it shine, make it pretty for this year. What else we got going on? I need to jack up the rear end. That's actually probably what I'm going to tackle next. I need to jack up the rear end, and I'm going to go ahead and weld the rear diff. I wanted to keep the, not limited slip, why can't I think? Maybe limited slip, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, LSD, limited slip differential. I wanted to keep that in there and keep it the stock the way it is, but last couple runs, I had already changed the fluid out, and I really don't feel like buying a whole new clutch pack kit for it. So I'm probably going to end up just, like I said, welding that diff. Kind of sucks because, it's nice being able to drive this around. I've taken it through a couple events, car shows, and a couple parades and whatnot, and it's nice not having the tires chirp or grip or, worried about that happening when I'm just driving around. But I think that's the way we're going to go. It's just going to, I like having this solid rear end, so that way this thing just rips like it's supposed to. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm going to have to get new seat belts. They started to mold because, like I said, the car's been out of commission for a good 8 months at least. So I got some mold growing on the seat belts. I had mouse shit in here. That was really, really disappointing. I had to vacuum that up, but everything else is intact. I'm going to get the dash, get some material put on that so it all matches, cover up the vents and everything like that, because, I don't have a heater core in here, so it's not like I need those open. But, I mean, sometimes, honestly, I just come in here and sit. It's kind of nice. Haven't been to the track in forever. Probably just go to one of these events here pretty soon and just hang out with the guys. But really miss the track, so that's why we're out here now, getting this thing put back together. I finally cleared the kids' stuff out of here so that way I can get my game going. And so, like I said, basically, I got 2 motors with everything here, and we're going to take the best of the best parts that are all squared up, looking good. We're probably going to end up painting the block. We'll paint the valve covers, of course, and stuff like that, and the timing chain cover. Yeah, I really want to make this motor stand out, because You know, I've said it in my other videos, everybody's LS swap, LS swap, LS swap. They are great motors. You know, GM makes a great product, but I just want to be unique, so we're sticking with that Ford 4.63 valve. You know, I still also get the comments, well, why didn't you go to the 5.0? You know, why didn't you put a Coyote in it? Da 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 da. But we're just gonna stick with what we have. We're gonna make it work. Gonna order up a new crankshaft, get some new bearings. I think on my rods between the two motors, I have plenty enough rods, plenty enough pistons. We might do cams on the top. Not Martha Thumpers. I think they're Thunders or something. I don't remember. We're gonna do some cams though. Make this thing growl really well. Get that extended intake and exhaust. And yeah, we're gonna take our time, but we're gonna have fun. I want to try and capture as much as I can on YouTube because the Instagram thing just wasn't working. I feel like if I'm on YouTube, got a lot more feedback there, as far as people commenting and asking questions and wanting to know more. So stick around. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this side up, then remeasure it with my feeler gauge, flip it, do the other side, then we're gonna do the oil pan as well. So hope you guys stick around for this season. If you want to catch me on Instagram, tag me, Drifted by XLK. That is me. I'm the one and only guy drifting an RX-8 with a V8 in it out here at Evergreen Speedway in Washington. So if you get the time, come check it out. You know, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different chassis out there. BMWs seem to be the thing right now, but I'm unique. I'm the one of a kind. So come check it out, Drifted by XLK.